Welcome back to the deep dive. So, if you thought the end of the competitive golf season meant that all the drama was over,
But you were very wrong.
you were absolutely wrong, yeah. We took a look at this huge stack of sources covering the final swings of 2025, and what we found was just this whirlwind of on-course heroics mixed with some of the most consequential business moves we've seen all year.
It really is the perfect encapsulation of modern golf, isn't it?
It is.
Our mission today is to, cut through all that noise and give you the essential insights. We're going to decode these huge athletic wins and also analyze the high-stakes decisions happening off the course
So who won? Who's moving?
and where the money and the tech are headed for 2026.
And the central tension is just,
Yeah.
it's so palpable. On one hand, you have the pure competition. You've got players making these career-defining pushes.
Like Sami Välimäki.
Exactly, a guy from Finland who needed a huge week to completely rewrite his future. But then on the other side, you have these massive strategic shifts from the governing bodies.
You mean LIV Golf?
LIV Golf, changing their entire event format, shifting to 72 holes. It's such a clear play to try and satisfy the rules of the official world golf ranking.
That's the OWGR. And for anyone who might be, a bit new to this, that ranking system is basically the gatekeeper for the major championships.
Right.
And this whole political fight for recognition, it's still the biggest story in the sport.
So it's the competitive game versus the structural game, and it's all happening in the same week. Okay, let's unpack the on-course action first, the stuff that officially closed out the competitive year.
Starting with the PGA Tour.
The PGA Tour's final act, the RSM Classic, which was the end of the FedEx Cup fall schedule.
And that fall series is so crucial. People sometimes overlook it, but it's not just about another trophy.
Yeah.
It is the absolute final gate before the offseason. It's where players lock in their status for the next 2 years. If you're on the bubble, this is where you live or die, professionally speaking.
And Sami Välimäki absolutely lived. I mean, this was his 142nd start on the PGA Tour.
It's a long time to wait.
A long time. And he finally gets his first title at Sea Island. Won by 2 strokes, and the implications of that win are just, they're enormous.
They really are. Forget the prize money for a second. He immediately gets full exempt status through 2027.
Which is huge security.
Huge. And as an international player trying to break into that top tier,
Right.
he guaranteed himself a spot in the 2026 Masters. And when you look at the world rankings, that jump into the top 50. It wasn't just a bump. It completely solidifies his major outlook for the next year.
That's what one good week, one timely win can do. And we should also talk about the rookies who used this series to really cement their places, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Ricky Castillo finished 3rd. That gives a huge boost to his Rookie of the Year case.
Yeah, Michael Brennan.
Michael Brennan, exactly. He secured his full rookie status by finishing inside the top 100, so these guys aren't scrambling for starts next year. They're set.
It just grants them security, which in professional golf is everything.
Okay, so if the PGA Tour offered status and access, the LPGA Tour's finale. That was a massive financial statement. We're talking about the CME Group Tour Championship down in Naples.
Yeah. Our deep dive into the LPGA sources shows a tour that is not just growing, it's accelerating. Fast.
And the performance from Thailand's Jeeno Thitikul was just dominant.
A bogey-free 66 in the final round to win by 3 shots. It was just a fantastic display of golf under pressure.
But let's get into the money, because this is where the deeper story really is.
Okay.
Thitikul won a record $4 million top prize.
$4 million.
That single payout is higher than the entire purse for a lot of men's events just a few years ago, and the total purse was $11 million.
And that record financial strength, it's a direct result of the tour securing these major long-term media deals. They're attracting Fortune 500 sponsors like CME.
So it's not just flash-in-the-pan money.
No, not at all. This signals sustained commercial confidence in the global reach of women's golf. And, seeing Padraig and Anaru Karn take 2nd place.
Yeah.
It just confirms that the depth of talent is rising to meet those financial incentives.
That commercial strength on the LPGA side is a key theme we're definitely going to come back to. But first, let's pivot. Let's go from these definitive athletic victories to the structural drama that is just dominating the offseason.
Right. we have to address the political game around the OWGR because every business decision, every player move right now, it's all orbiting this one system.
And LIV Golf, which has been trying to get OWGR points for years now, seems to be trying to check every single box the board puts in front of them. Their transaction window opened, late October? And there was all this buzz about who might be moving, free agents like Patrick Reed or relegated guys like Anthony Kim.
Yeah, the usual speculation.
But the real news was the structural confirmation.
The crucial confirmation is that LIV is officially shifting all their events to 72 holes, starting in 2026.
We've been hearing whispers about this for months, but to see them commit is massive.
It is. This is a direct, a very strategic concession to the OWGR rules, which have always favored that standard 72-hole format.
But here's the question for you then. If 72 holes was the problem, why make the change now? And if they've fixed that core issue, why isn't the OWGR just giving them the green light?
That's the tension, right? They held out on 72 holes because the 54-hole format was part of their identity.
Their whole brand. Golf, but louder, faster.
Exactly. Faster. Different. They're changing now because the OWGR pathway is the only viable route for their players to get into the majors long term. But the board, now led by Trevor Immelman, they're still pointing to other structural hurdles.
Right. It's not just the number of holes. They're focused on LIV's closed format.
The lack of meritocracy.
The lack of a clear path for promotion and relegation. And the team component, which, that has to complicate how you even calculate individual performance for ranking points.
And this creates enormous risk for the players. While the superstars, your Jon Rahms and Brooks Koepkas, they have enough major wins and exemptions to stay safe for a while.
But the rest of the roster?
The rest of the roster risks falling into an OWGR black hole. If their rankings keep sinking, they won't qualify for the U.S. Open or the Open Championship. And that just keeps the pressure cooker firmly on LIV leadership.
It's why we're still hearing all this chatter, despite the skepticism, about a potential PGA LIV unification.
Everyone from Rory McIlroy, who commented positively on the 72-hole change, to insiders, they all recognize that the system is ultimately broken if the world's best players aren't competing against each other regularly.
And we did see a sign of maybe some de-escalation this week, didn't we? Something pointing towards more flexibility.
We did. Henrik Stenson, who lost his Ryder Cup captaincy after he moved to LIV, he announced he is returning to the DP World Tour for some selective appearances in 2026.
That's interesting.
It signals that the global tours might be relaxing some of those hardline stances we saw over the last few years. They're letting top talent dip back into the traditional circuits.
That flexibility is critical. Okay, so if the political game is all about structure and access, let's talk about the bottom line. What does all this mean for the business and the technology that are driving the sport?
This week saw multiple announcements that are really reshaping the golf landscape. Let's start with financial security. The DP World Tour, the main European circuit, announced it's extending its title sponsorship with DP World through 2030.
And the key nugget here is that our sources are confirming this is the largest deal in that tour's history.
Which provides a huge financial bulwark against all the turmoil from the political conflicts. It's stability.
Absolutely. Then on the other end of the spectrum, the PGA Tour is adding a new event in Austin for October 2025. What's interesting to me is who got the naming rights.
Good.
The Golf Media Group. That's a fascinating blend of traditional tour structure meeting the huge influence of digital content creators.
It's a sign of the times.
It really is. Okay, but here's where the strategic insight really comes in. We have to discuss this major corporate unwinding. Callaway selling a 60% stake in Topgolf.
To Leonard Green and Partners, yeah. This basically reverses that mega merger from 2020.
This is a huge story, and it's pretty nuanced. Remind us, the 2020 merger was Callaway betting big on golf entertainment, right?
Exactly. The idea that Topgolf's driving range meets nightclub concept was the future for growing the game. It gave them a massive valuation boost at the time.
But now they're stepping back from that controlling stake, so why?
The analysis we've seen suggests a major pivot back to core competencies. By selling, they're unwinding that whole thing and reverting to the original Callaway company name.
So back to basics.
Back to basics. They're focusing their capital and their attention back on high-end equipment, apparel, footwear. The areas where they have a real market advantage. Not the complex operational headaches of running a global entertainment business. It's a big reprioritization.
So that's a fundamental shift away from experiential golf and back towards performance gear. Okay, let's talk tech. Because if the Callaway move is about restructuring capital, These next deals are all about restructuring the viewer experience.
And the LPGA is the clear winner in the tech race this week, no question.
They finalized a landmark broadcast deal for 2026.
With FM, Golf Channel, and TrackMan. And it's revolutionary.
It's more than just a renewed contract, isn't it? The specific metrics are what's wild. The deal is set to quadruple shot tracing capabilities and increase camera coverage by 50%. We are moving into a world of data visibility that golf just has never seen before, especially in the women's game.
This is where commerce and data meet to satisfy the modern sports fan. All right. When you quadruple shot tracing, you're giving viewers instant, precise information. Club speed, launch angle, carry distance.
It's nerdy stuff.
All the nerdy stuff. And this connects directly to you, the learner at home, because it helps you understand why the ball did what it did. It turns watching golf into an analytical tool.
And it's an arms race they have to be in. LIV is also expanding its TrackMan partnership to enhance their ball tracking. It's clear that sophisticated data-driven viewing is now it's the baseline expectation.
And we also noted, briefly, some of the young stars like Caleb Surratt talking about their ambitions for 2026. And he specifically cited LIV's team format as an advantage for his own development.
So the next generation is already viewing these new structures as legitimate pathways, regardless of all the ranking fights.
It seems so. So to sort of synthesize everything we've covered, the 2025 season closed with these definitive career-making winners.
Välimäki and Thitikul.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Achieving this incredible athletic success that instantly changed their lives. But all of that was set against this backdrop of deep structural, commercial, and political reconfiguration, from 72-hole shifts to corporate unwinding.
All aimed at solidifying the future shape of professional golf.
Globally, yeah.
We saw just unprecedented scale this week. Record prize money, the biggest sponsorship deals in tour history, massive investments in broadcast tech, and this new level of tour-to-tour movement signaled by players like Stenson.
The ground is definitely shifting beneath the entire sport.
It really is. And here's a final provocative thought for you to explore as you process all this. We've spent years focused on the endless political back and forth, right? PGA versus LIV. But think about the LPGA. They just finalized a broadcast tech deal that will quadruple their shot tracing. They paid out a $4 million top prize. Considering these massive commercial investments and the technological push designed purely to enhance the viewer's understanding of the game, is the LPGA currently undergoing the single most significant commercial and viewer experience transformation in all of professional golf? Something to mull over for your next deep dive.